Trump's son, Eric. Good evening, Eric.
Good evening, Judge.
All right, neck and neck. It's a horse race right now. And here we are just 1 week from the debate. What is the most important group that the Trump campaign needs to attract at this point?
Listen, I think hardworking Americans, they're the people my father has spoken to this entire election cycle, and they've been totally left behind by Washington, D.C. In the last 15 years as a nation, we've lost one-third of all our manufacturing jobs in this country. We have 100 million people out of the workforce in the United States. Median income in this country hasn't gone up in 16, 17 years, meaning people are making the same or less money today as they were 16, 17 years ago. It is so, so sad. We're losing all of our jobs. People are working harder. We're being taxed more. All our jobs are going overseas. It's just a very, very sad thing. So my father is talking to hardworking Americans who have been left behind by the policies of the Clintons and the policies of the Obamas, who have really just forgotten about the American people.
You know, Eric, there's been a lot of talk about the ground operation and the fact that the Trump campaign doesn't have the ground operation, and it's certainly not that it's expected to, given the fact that Hillary's been running for years and years for president. But that it seems, though, that the swing states actually have an increase in the number of Republicans who are actually signing up or registering to vote.
In a huge way. I mean, if you look at voter registration all across the country, and especially in the swing states, it's skewing very heavily toward the Republicans. But I find it ironic. Hillary spends her life either in L.A. or in the Hamptons doing $100,000 fundraisers. Hey, last night Bill Clinton had a fundraiser where you couldn't go to it unless every person donated $250,000, and we all know where that money's going. Yet my father is out there 3 or 4 times a day doing rallies in front of 15, 20, 25,000 Americans who are excited and thrilled and who are behind his movement. And it's a different way of campaigning. She'll raise hundreds of thousands of dollars and run smear ads, not about what she's accomplished in 30 years of being a politician, because there's very dismal track record, but instead trying to smear my father. And I think my father is doing the exact opposite thing, where he's taking his message to the American people, and he's getting in front of the American people, and he's working incredibly hard. And that's why we're going to win come November 8th. I mean, it's just why we're going to win come November 8th.
Well, I think that there is a startling distinction, Eric, between your father's campaign and the issues that he's talking about, whether it's the economy or child care or immigration or foreign policy, or what he did with the generals, some of the Gold Star fathers that we heard from this week. And she is not talking policy. She's just talking trash. But, it seems that she is now in a position where she can't really rely on her record, so she really doesn't have anything else to talk about.
That's exactly right. I mean, listen, she's sitting out there saying, we're going to put coal miners out of business, and she's, obviously very anti-law enforcement. She's turned her back on our law enforcement. She's turned her back on our military. And then just time and time again, she turns her back on the American people. At the same time, she's profited hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars off of the American people through pay-to-play scandals. And, I mean, it's just really, really horrific. It's really the most deplorable thing in the world.
I want to get to the debate prep. Now, we've got just over a week before that first debate, which is going to be huge, and it's one that I think will turn a lot of people. And since there's a very small margin that both camps have to try to convince, how's your dad preparing for it? And, Hillary Clinton, I can't imagine, given the fact that she has said so often that your father is unfit, she's got to get to him and make sure that she shows the American people that he doesn't have the temperament. Is he ready to blow that off when it comes?
No, absolutely. And my father is preparing, and he's preparing hard, and he doesn't do it based on memorizing sound bites. He does it based on talking to really intelligent people and formulating great plans. But if you want to look at what's unfit, unfit is calling half of all hardworking Americans irredeemable. I mean, unfit is destabilizing Syria and Iraq and Egypt and pretty much every other Middle Eastern country. Unfit is allowing our servicemen to, die on a roof in Benghazi because, they wanted to keep cover for themselves, and they wanted to lie to the American people, and quite frankly, they didn't want to make a tough call. Unfit is deleting 15,000 emails and lying to the Department of Justice and lying to Congress and lying to the FBI and everybody else.
But,
Unfit is running one of the largest Ponzi schemes in American charitable history. And, I think her record is a toxic record. And I think everybody understands that. And I think my father will certainly be spending a lot of time talking about that.
Okay. And very quickly, given that your father is all over the place, he goes from one state, one event to another, and she's very quiet and kind of behind the scenes. Your father is prepared. Is he doing debate practice, Eric?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's very important. He realizes it to be, very important, but he does it in his way. Again, not memorizing cue cards. He does it by talking to great people and surrounding himself by great people, and he'll certainly be ready, and he's done a phenomenal job in the debates, and I have no doubt that he's going to do amazing come next Monday.
All right. Well, we all look forward to it. Eric Trump, thanks so much for being with us this evening.
Take care, Judge.
All right. And with me